Hello everyone, welcome back to Playwright with TypeScript end-to-end automation testing training session 4. So in the first three sessions, we almost covered couple of important topics from the TypeScript. So today we also will continue with couple of important training topics from TypeScript only. So today we'll understand what is TypeScript Tuple, TypeScript Union, Intersection, TypeScript Aliases, Guards, TypeScript Class and Object, TypeScript Generics, TypeScript Generic Classes and Functions. So let's start with tuples. So what is tuples? So previously we discussed about the array. So what is array? Array is primarily a dynamic type element, because once you define the array, like you can try to add the any number of element. But the main problem is that with the array is that arrays will contain similar kind of element, right? In case it's a number or it's a string or it is a boolean, only it will contain. So TypeScript tuples are a special array types which primarily allows user to store a fixed number of elements, where each element can have specific predetermined type and order. This provides type safety that regular array, which are dynamic in length and types, element types, does not follow. So this is the primary difference between array and tuple. So tuples allows user to store fixed number of element, whereas array can allow to store any dynamic element. But array will allow you only to store similar kind of element, but whereas tuples will allow user to store different variety of the element as well. To define a tuple in TypeScript, user need to use square bracket with comma separated type for each position. In tuple, the structure of the data is fixed and known in advance, and user can group multiple value of different type. Suppose in case you are trying to deal with some student where you know that there is 10 student is there, so automatically you can define 10 different data type, and you can have stored 10 value. Okay, only one type, like say in now number type. Suppose in case you want to have some student information where you need to store student roll number, class, age, student name. So you already know that there is a four size is four, but data type is different. In something is number, something is string. So similarly, you can try to define the tuple accordingly, and then you can deal with very easiest way. So TypeScript tuples gives user the power to define structured fixed format data, whether user is handling coordinate pairs, combining names and codes, or modeling response format. Tuple provide clarity and precision. Now let's try to understand with the practical example how tuples behave in TypeScript. So this is our TypeScript project we are doing for the last 3 days. So we'll try to in the project we'll go there and we'll try to create a new TypeScript file. So today's I'll give the file name called day4.extension.ts. So that file I can open it and I can hide this part so that screen will be more better. Okay, now we'll try to define a tuple. Say let's is the variable. Okay, say let is the variable, we'll store something called roll number. This is my variable. Okay, here I will give the colon, we'll use the square bracket, and say I want to store four different roll number, so I will be giving number comma. So here also you need to give that definitions with the data type, how many number you want to store. Okay, similar number will be doing, so similar data type will be doing here, so that is fine. So now we can go ahead like value 1, 2, 3 and 4. So that is the way I can go ahead with the fixed size and data type also specifically mentioned. Now in case I want to print out, so I'll be using console dot log, and I can use that variable number called roll number. Then what I can do, I can print the value. Apart from that, I can try to check the type of the variables whatever declared. So we'll be using type of operator here, and now we can try to run it. How I will run? So just we need to use the command node space the file name, right? What is the file name we have given? Day4 dot ts. Now we can run it and we can get the output. You could see the output is coming as 1 2 3 4 and it is object types. So it's behave as an object. Definitely array is an object only, but here tuples is similar to array, but it can have the fixed number and it can also have different data type in a single tuples. Now let's try to go with the one or more kind of examples explanation where we will try to define different data type. So let's create a variable called student info variable name, and here I can give the colon, then I can try to give some more data type called number, which will be your age, okay, and student roll number, and then one variable I can use called string, which is student name. And similar way I can try to define the value also. So say student roll number is 1, okay, student age is say 12, and student name is say within the double quote because the string say Raj. Now what we can do, similar way you can try to just print the value of the variables along with the data type checking. So we need to change it and we can try to just run it. So you could see here 112 Raj is coming and it's also coming as object. So that is the way, not only one data type, right? I can try to store multiple data type. Says like tomorrow I want to add one more data type called boolean. Okay, where I can try to check that student is right a minor or like adult. Okay, so I can give that boolean value called true, sorry false, because student age is 12, so student is minor. Okay, means until 18 years is that we can still consider say not an adult. So again we can save the code and we can try to run it. That is the way multiple different variety of the data types we can hold it in the tuples, but tuple will be having the fixed size. It is not like the dynamic size. During runtime it will hold. Okay, that is the way we can do it. Apart from that, what we can do, we already defined this one, right? So we can try to print in a different like row. Okay, what we can do? So what we can do, same thing. We can try to use a for loop for let say I equal to 0. Then I can go with I less than, what is my variable, student info. It will go till length -1, so that is the way I can go with length. Okay, because starting with 0, so it will go, in case length is 4, it will go 0 1 2 3, that is the it will work. Then I plus plus. Okay, and here before that I just need to create a method here. So what I'll be creating a method, okay, called function, with the word function say display student info. Okay, same way I can give it. So that is my functions, where I can give what I want to do. Uh, so any variable name I can just give value which I want to print it, and here I can give any type, right? So this is the way I can provide an array. So it will be any type. Okay, so that can be boolean, that can be number, that can be string, that can be other also. So here, sorry, this is my bad. This will be I plus plus will be inside that block, colon, and okay, this one need to remove. Then what I need to do, I need to just print out the value here. So it will be uh, the whatever variable I have passed it, value variable, then I, for every I it will be printed out. That's all. Now what we can do, we can let's check any mistake. No, I think fine. Then we can try to call that method. So what is the method name? Display info. We'll try to call it. Let's see any error. Okay, some error. Okay, value is not defined. Okay, okay, sorry, my bad. It will be another bracket will be there, and I need to end it with this bracket. Yeah, I think now it should fine. Here you need to pass that which variable you want to call it, right? So student info is the variable, so you need to pass it because this is the function we are calling, but you need to pass the actual tuples. So that is the it should work. Okay, so let's run it and let's see what's happening here. That is the way I can try to run it line by line. You could see instead of in a object format, I'm running it. So I already defined the variable, right? Where I am trying to kind of tuples here because we are trying to give that size is 4. One, 2 is number type, one is string, one is boolean, and we are passing the value accordingly. First one is for the roll number, second one is for age, third one is for name, fourth one is to checking that whether like is adult or not. In case less than 18, so it is not adult, right? After that, we are creating a function to display the value. Okay, so that we are creating the method name or function name called display info, where creating a variable which will be any type. Okay, we can give it so easily it will work. So in case we are giving the any type, okay, and then we are just simply in that functions we are trying to print a for loop and just printing the value. Now we are calling this method where we are providing the tuple information, so automatically it can be printed out. So that is the way you can deal with the tuples in the TypeScript world. Let's comment out this code before going to the next topics. Okay, I will just cover a couple of topics, then I will take a pause for any kind of questions is there. Okay, then we'll cover about the union and intersections. After that, I will take a pause. So the union, right? In case you already learned about the SQL, right? Structured query language, you already know about the union, where you can have multiples, right? Kind of tables, and you can try to have the union, where like all the things you can consider is apart from the unique also, ununique part also you can try to hold as part of the union. And intersection is nothing but the common part between the two table. Similar way, little bit similarity is there in the TypeScript world also. So TypeScript Union allows a variables functions parameter or return type to accept multiple possible types. Okay, instead of one, it might accept multiple possible types. So instead of limiting a value to a single type, unions give flexibility while maintaining type safety. So union in TypeScript represent a type that can be one of the several specified types. This is useful when variable may have different kind of values but still needs type checking. The pipe symbol is used to define a union, separating the possible data type primarily or types. A common real-time example of a TypeScript union type is modeling the possible state of an asynchronous operation such as API request, like CRUD operation, CRUD. Whatever you want to do, in case you already have some idea in the API, right? CRUD is nothing but the create, read, um, update, and delete. So create can be possible through the like called a couple of method, right? Read is possible through the right get method. Create is possible, right? And then put and patch is there for the update. Delete method you can call for the delete. Okay, so that is the way we can use the different kind of stuff we can do it, which will be doing the different operation. So the TypeScript union ensures TypeScript safety when handling loading, success, any kind of error scenario. So sometimes it can be success, sometimes it can be failure, right? Sometimes it is just a working status, it's still not retrieved. So this kind of area, right, we can have that union. So just I'm having think about the like real time example. So in some of the website, right, whenever you are creating a form, so you are giving your name, user like user ID, password, address, all this stuff, right, gender and other details. After that, some ID used to generate, but there is no guarantee that sometime numeric ID will be generated. They might don't have any check. So sometime numeric might be generated or sometime alphanumeric might be generated. Then how will handle it? So in case you are giving the number, so it will not work, right? But if you are giving number slash string, so it will work. So it will accept the value. So that is the way you can go with the multiple types with the pipe operator, and it will hold good. So let's see, let's define some called called order ID, right? Whenever you are in the especially in the retail world, right, whenever you are just filling all the details, after that order ID will be generated. So that we want to buy 3 product, 4 product, 5 product, order ID will be generated. But order ID can be your like a number or can be string. Then how will handle it? So this is the way you can give it, either number or pipe separated you can give it, okay, called string. Okay, now you could see whenever you want to define any value, okay, say id equal to 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, Then you can try to print it out. Sorry, order ID, this variable. Then you can try to print it out, so it will be fine. Okay. Now what we'll do, we'll be defining some order ID with alphanumeric characters. Okay, called 1 to instead of 1 it can be A, and instead of 5 it can be say B. So that is the, it might also work. So it will not be a problem. So it can hold both the value because we have given. Okay, see what's the problem is coming. Okay, A is not defined. We have defined. Okay, you need to give it in the double quote, right? Because it's string, we need to give in the double quote or single quote. That is the only reason it's not working. Okay, now we can run it because it's not a number, so you cannot give it without double quote or single quote. You could see now it's working. Now, if you want to define something, Boolean value, say, like, okay, will it work? In case it's not defined, okay, give something called true or false, or give something called 1, 2, 3, 4, and with n word. Okay, you could see remaining elements coming, which is nothing but the big int data type. It is not a work, right? Okay, but if you just give that word called big int, you could see element is gone, right? So it will work now. Okay, but in case you are removing this part, it will not work. So this is the way you can try to deal with the union. Now in the union also, not only the variable, we also you can try to have the union in the functions level also. Let's give a function called function, okay, called, okay, display, like same way I can do it, display order ID. Okay, where what we can do, we can give display order ID, and here I can again pass some variable value, okay, colon, and here similar way I can give it the 3 types, it will hold. That will be fine. Now what we can try to do, just console.log, just try to use print this value variable. Now we can try to call it, what is my method or functions. This is my functions, and where I can try to provide the value. It can be like say 1001, it can be right, like 1001 n big int, it will allow, or it can be say any kind of number value called a1112b, like that, so it will still work. See, okay, you could see this value are getting printed. Now if you want to store any value which is not defined, okay, basically there are 7 pp data type available along with big int, number, okay, and then a string, I think undefined, null, symbol, and boolean is there. So in case just try to give something called boolean, any value true or false, so it will work. No, it will throw the error. Okay, it's good. See, it is throwing the error. Argument of type boolean is not assignable to parameter type string, number, or big int. So if you just add here boolean, so it will work then. So you can have multiple type, right, data type. Now it should be work. There is no problem at all. So this is the way you can deal with the union in the TypeScript world. Now you will go with the intersections. So there are one more problem is there, right? You can have some type called like circle, square, right? All this stuff you can have it, rectangle. Then you can define some shapes which can be circle, square, rectangle. You can create a functions and you can give it, right, with the shape equal to this value, if else, all this part. So I can just try to write it, the code, so you can get to know how it behave. So what we did, we have trying to create a circle type, square type. So circle will take the radius variable as a number, and square also will be having side. Then what is the formula? Side start side for the circle, and for the sorry, square, and for the circle it will be like math function pi, and then radius star radius pi r square. Okay, then we are having another type called shapes. We can have circle or square. Then what we are doing? we are creating a functions called calculate area. We are getting give some variable name, and it can be shape. In case it is a kind of shape equal to circle, it will be these functions will be called like the pi r square. Okay, it is nothing but the power sign. And in case except, here are two types, so except is fine, otherwise we can give it again. If exact shape dot shape equal to square, it will be side star side, right? Then we can give some value. Shape is circle, value is 10, so it will be 10 into 10 into 3.14, the value of the pi. And here it is like say give it called 20, so it will be 20 into 20 400. So you could see accordingly value is coming. So this is the way you can try to deal with the like different union type in the TypeScript world. Now let's see about the intersections. Okay, so here we already discussed, right? In case two SQL two table was there, in case we want to intersect, so common value will be printed out, right? So this is one of the examples. And apart from that, here, right, we can try to have multiple type, and we can try to combine it, and we can use the value also. Okay, so TypeScript intersection type combine multiple types into single type using the ampersand operator and operator, right? The resulting type includes all properties and methods from all combined types, meaning an object of this type must satisfy all constituent type constructs simultaneously. This powerful feature is part of the TypeScript type system and offers greater control and precision in defining complex object structure. Intersection types that TypeScript provide are especially useful when working with interfaces, object type, and functions that need to fulfill multiple roles. So TypeScript allow merging optional properties in intersection type. However, if type contains conflicting properties type, the result will be not be assignable, and it might throw the error. So think about that. Say we want to deal with the student details. So there is some type called student name. There is one type called student address, and right in the name we can have couple of variable called first name, last name, middle name. In the address we can have couple of variable called like address line 1, 2, 3, state, country, zip code, all this stuff. So this is the two type is available. But now I want to combine, just get the student full information like what is the name and address. So I can just use the ampersand operator, then I can try to have this thing, right? So this is the way I can do it. Now let's see the implementation. So let's give some type called say name, okay, of the student, okay, and I can you give the equal to sign, and within the curly braces, name, student name equal to string, okay, then that is fine, student name is there. Okay, then what I can do, I can have say another type student say contact information, apart from the name contact info, where I can have couple of variables called say email, okay, string, and then comma, phone number, okay, number. Okay, so this is the way I have defined two types. One is called name and one is called contact info. Name is having student name. We can also define with first name, last name if required, like called first name, okay, string, and then last name also you can do also, right? That is the way I can do it, multiple way. Now I want to combine so that I can get the full student information, the name, and along with emails and along with the phone number. Okay, now how can I do it? I need to give that variable name change called last name. It should be unique, every variable in the same file. Now we can do what? We can do use constant or let, because student info should be constant only, mostly it does not change. Okay, called student variable, and I can try to use a new type called student info, right here, and equal to, and then I can try to give that one braces, Okay, think that will be fine. Now what we can do, we can try to define the value here. Okay, say student first name value equal to uh, Jatin. Okay, then okay, sorry, it will not work. Why? Because I need to create that type right fast. Okay, that is the reason it's showing the error. So what I'll do again, I'll be using the type and we'll be giving this one new type equal to, I need to just intersect, right? Name, ampersand, and another one, contact info. Okay, then it should work, right? Then student is the new variables. Okay, here I can keep the name, Jatin. Okay, then I can define the last name. Okay, called Sarma. Okay, that is fine. Then what I can do, I can try to, I need to use the comma separated. Then I can give that email equal to say test123 dot at the rate test.com, just giving a sample name only, and again comma. What is the last variable called phone number? It is a number. I can give the number equal to say something like that, any number, just giving random number. Okay, that is the way I'm defining it. Now what we can do, we can try to use print it out now. So we'll be doing that printing out console. How I can print it out? So you could see all our error is coming because I did not use them. Okay, so it will be variable name student dot first name. Okay, similarly I can just change it all the variable value. Okay, called last name. Okay, sorry, it will be yeah, my bad, it will not be equal to, it will be colon. Okay, that is the way I need to define the value. And now I can try to just call it one by one. So this is the way I can intersect. Okay, so just I have defined two the type. One is called name type, where we are having two variable, first name and last name, definitely string type. And we are having contact info, like where email and phone number is there. Now I want to combine both so that I can give the full information of the student. So I'm creating a type called student info. We are just combining it. Now we are creating a variable called student, and from the student info types, and we are defining the value now, all the value, right? And now we can print it out. Okay, using the like this one object. Okay, and the corresponding variable. Okay, you could see Jatin Sharma email ID, and this is my phone number. So this is the way I can try to deal with the um TypeScript intersection. Okay, and let's see one more examples. I think already they are in my document. Okay, so let's try to just deal with two array, and let's see how they are behaving. Okay, with the intersection, so whatever we told about the SQL column, right? Okay, so here we are having two array. First that is one to having 1 2 3 4 5. Second array is having 1 2 1 3 5 7 9. So what is common here? 1 and 3 is common, right? And 5 is common. These three, what is common in both the way. Now we are creating a new array where we are giving first array dot filter element, and you are using lambda functions. Okay, right? These are arrow functions here, similar to lambda expression or function in Java. Here TypeScript is called arrow functions. We are giving the second array and including the wherever both the element is common. Then we want to print it out as a new array. Okay, that is the way I'm just doing it here. This is one of the another example of the intersections. Okay, you could see 1 2 3 4 5 1 3 5 is coming. Now in case you are giving here called 6 7 8 9, and if you want to add couple of more variable here, right? So you see the what is the common part. Okay, and give here okay 10 also. Okay, called 11 also, like that. So let's see what is the common here. Quarter common 1 2 3 4 5 7 9, because they both are that are the common, right? If you give something called 12 comma 14 like that. Let's see what are the common. Let's save it. So this is the way you can get only the common, right, through this approach. So 1 through 1 3 4 5 7 9, so whatever wherever both are common only. So this is the way your union intersection also behave, and tuples already explained. So anybody any doubt? Is it good? Okay, cool. Okay, so we'll go to the next part called TypeScript aliases. Okay, so in the SQL also you already seen, right? Whenever you are having a big table name, okay, whenever you are having a big column name, we want to sort it out, right, so that I can use it, right, very easiest way. One very column big table name, very big column name, maybe we can sort it out. So that is the way I can use the SQL aliases. Okay, here also TypeScript also mostly similar way it will work also. A type alias is nothing but a way to give a custom name to an existing type. Type can be anything, like here in TypeScript, allowing complex type definition to be simplified and reused. It can be used with primitive types, object, unions, intersections, array, tuples, or function type also. They are declared using the type keyword. In real-time application, TypeScript aliases are used to create descriptive reusable name for complex or frequent use types, which greatly enhance code readability and maintainability. Okay, so you could see here you can use the primitive also. You can give the type here, we can use some union, that is the way string or number. We can use the point, right, where we want to give the x or y axis. We can use some math operations where you can use these arrow functions like that. Okay, so let's define something called, okay, prettier way so that you can understand why this particular alias is used in TypeScript, how it actually help us to do the simplify the coding. So let's define some variable name called type. Okay, say okay, employee, okay, full name. So this is the big type, right? Okay, and what we can do, equal to, we can define equal to say string type. Okay, that is fine. Okay, now in case you want to you call it all the time, right, maybe tough, maybe another big also there, right? So what we'll be doing, we'll be using a simple alias here. So I can use later constant called only name, or something called emp name, like that. Okay, here we can give colon, and we can give this type, original type one, and I can give the value called say Rahul Saxena. Okay, now what I can do, I can just print it out, simple way, call emp name, that's all. Let's run it, let's see. Okay, you could see. So with this particular simple format, right, I am able to do it. Instead of full name, I'm creating a alias, which is giving shorter name, which is very very like uh, I can handle the very narrowing down, right, the complex type definition to simplify it, and can be used in number of time later point of time. Okay, so that is the way it will help us. Say let's create a called another type called type, called give something called arithmetic, okay, addition, like that, big number, right? Okay, here we what we can do, we can give equal to, and we can give some variable here called say right, number, big variable also. It is not only the type, also trying to define the shorter way for the variable type also. Say number one, which is nothing but number format. Okay, again comma, okay, number two, another variable. Okay, again it will be number two. Okay, number two, so it should be unique only. Okay, then what is there, I'll be using that arrow functions equal to sign, and this greater sign, that is the arrow function syntax, equal to number. It will be type will be number also. Now what we can do, that alias, so let's define again some variable called constant or let is fine, whatever, and I just give simple called okay, called name called add. So you can also get to understand, right, instead of arithmetic addition, all these big thing. Okay, and here you can give colon old one. Okay, and what you can do equal to, and instead of number one you can give some variable called I and comma j, right, new variable, shorter format only. And then your arrow functions, okay, what you are doing, I plus j, that's all. Now what you can do, you can try to print the value. Okay, so add is the alias here. Okay, and you can, sorry, my bad. Okay, add is the alias here. Okay, what we are doing here, instead of alias, what is the way we passing? Two variable, right? So we need to pass these two variables, say 20 comma 60. So what it will be there, it should okay, okay, it should be comma only. Yeah, now you could see, you will get the result here. Okay, you could see 80 is coming. So similar way, let's try to create one more type, okay, called arithmetic multiplication. Okay, here I will be simply creating called multiply. Okay, very simple. I can do it same way. Instead of that, here I can just change it to I to j star j, and I can give it, it should be 1200, I think, output. Okay, why it is coming as, okay, arithmetic multiplication. Okay, I need to call it the multiply one, there, my bad. Okay, so now you could see it is coming as 1200. Okay, so this is the way I can deal with this kind of aliases. Apart from that, one more examples, little bit bigger one I can use. I already written it, the code here. Okay, so let's try to understand it also, how we can use the alias in the other way. Okay, so what I have did here, like I have tried to create a like a type called user profile. We are giving username, email, age. Okay, and after that we are creating a very simple variable from this one, right? Okay, instead of the user profile, we are creating user. We are giving the value called username, email, age, right? Okay, so here also you can give big name and you can sort it out also. Then you're creating a function, okay, called greet user. We are creating a one variable called profile. We are calling the original type, and it will be string type, so it is returning hello username. Then I can go in single line. Okay, this I want to print it out. Okay, this is the method. Now I'm calling this method where I am providing this user variable, whatever created from this user profile type. Now let's run it and let's see what's happening here. Okay, you could see hello Rahul Saxena. We've given the name. You are 30 years old. Your email is this. So this is the way also try to just use the type also, so that we can make it like very better way. So type alias is way to give the custom name, definitely will shorter name. That is my objective, right? To an existing type, which will allow user right complex type definition to be simplified and reused in number of time. It can be used with primitive types, array, object, union, intersection, tuples, or function type. They are declared using the types keyword. Okay. Now next we'll go to the next topics about the TypeScript guards. So primarily TypeScript is a programming language where most of the time, right, TypeScript, whenever you are writing the code during compile time, it will try to throw the error. But mostly that is the basic difference between JavaScript and TypeScript. JavaScript mostly does not throw you the error during the compile time or saving the code. Instead of that, whenever you are running the code, it will give you the error, right, that runtime. But TypeScript, this guard functionality is allowed, right, to do the checking at the runtime also by using guarding your variable or the right method, all this stuff, right? So type guard are nothing but a technique primarily used to check and refine types at runtime, ensuring safe operation based on the variable's actual type. It ensures operations are only performed on appropriate types and add an extra layer of the type checking during the runtime. So only whenever you are using the guard functionality, that using only you can try to, apart from the compile time, you can try to check that runtime. Otherwise, TypeScript does not mostly check on the runtime, instead of that it will try to check mostly on the compile time of the like saving the code. So TypeScript type guards are powerful tools for performing runtime checks that inform the compiler about a variable type within a specific code block, which is nothing known as narrowing. In real-time applications, they are commonly used for tasks such as handling variety API responses, authenticating users, and managing different object types in Union. Okay, let's see the implementations of the this part called TypeScript Guard. So let's comment out this part. Okay, what we'll do, we'll try to create a functions, very simple functions. Okay, called function name called test TypeScript Guard. Okay, functionality. And here what we can do, we can try to create a variable called value, and which can be say string or number, anything, or number. Mostly go with the 2A first, and we need to surround with these curly braces. What we will do now, if the type of value, okay, with very strict comparing, okay, this is called strict, and if you give loose, the double equal will lose. So triple equal to nothing, it will be checking the value along with the data type. If equal to string, then what will be happening, it will try to just print the value. Okay, so I can give extra block again, so it will be just console dot log. Okay, it will be giving the variable value dot length of the, okay, how many length we are defining, and the string it will be printing it out. So that is first perfectly fine, right? So it is safer access to the length function, which will be for the coming from the strict, okay, from the string. What in case we are defining only two, so we can just give else only instead of else if. Okay, else. So in case it's number, what I want to do, I want to just print out some different way, console dot log. Okay, value dot, I want to fix it. Okay, this is another method available called to fixed. Okay, then in case you are giving value like after decimal places 3 place 4 place, I want to fix it, say 3 places only, remaining place I do not want to take it. Okay, so this is the way I am did it. Now what we can do it, we can just call this method. Okay, what is my method name, test this one, and I can pass some value here. So we can, it will allow me to allow some string called say TypeScript. Okay, that is the first thing. Then it is fine. And here what will be happening, it is save for number only, right? Save for number here. Okay, and then what will be doing it similar way, I can try to give some number variable. Okay, called something like that. Okay, and this kind of value. Okay, let's run it now. Okay, you could see length is coming for the string is 10. Why? TypeScript there are total 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is fine because there is no, that is the way you are defining it, right? Safer access for the length function. It is very good. But whenever you are for the, whenever it is a number else, because the condition is else means number, right? Because two with data type I have passed for this value variable. Whenever it is a number, we are trying to fix it till decimal places. Two fixed means after a decimal it will be 3. You could see output is coming this word and then 865, right? It is truncating to 66. So that is the it's fixing out. So 3 digit is take. Misal in our world, right, we can mostly go with the 2 digit for the any kind of right, especially with the amount related part. Okay, so let's see what is happening now. You could see it's 87 is coming. So this is the way, like we can try to guard it so that it will try to validate during runtime instead of compile time. Okay, so this is the way we can use the guard. So let's have one more simple program for the TypeScript guard. where we can call a functions within the functions. Let's see it's working or not. Let's run it, then I'll explain it. Yeah, it's fine, I think so. Yeah. Okay. So what we are doing here, we are creating a function to checking whether it is string or not. Okay. We are passing a value which is unknown initially. Okay. Now in case it is a value is string, then it is equal to string, right? It will give the string. Now in case it is string, now we are creating a function called process value, right? Where will be provide the value. Now in the process value, we are trying to call this function is string. In case this string, it is string actually, right? Value is string, it will be giving you the value dot length. Else nothing. We did not define any else part. So here you could see you are giving the string, that is the value is coming 31. But here you are providing number, so it is not processing at all because there is no condition given in the function. In case you are giving some boolean value, it will also not work. Okay, it will not process anything because it is only giving you the output for the whenever it is a string and it is giving a number. Okay, in case you are giving a number, it will not work. Only string it will work. So in case you are giving some other stuff also, then it might work. Say big int, let's give it to big int. It will also not work. But now if you are giving the value, then it might work. Okay. So this is the way you can try to give n number of conditions, and you can create a functions and other function you can try to call the functions also. So this is the way you can create function, and this function can be called in the other way also. But TypeScript guard will allow you to check during the runtime instead of compile time, which is the main like benefit for the TypeScript. So using the guard function, we can along with the compile time, we can try to check on the runtime also. Now two more topics we'll cover, then I will take a pause again. Okay. So now we'll discuss about the class and object. So mostly in case you are having somebody familiar with the Java, like all the major programming language support class and object part. Okay. So class is nothing but a blueprint for creating the object. Okay. And class is nothing but group of object. Definitely it should be similar object, group of similar object. But object is nothing but the instance from the class mostly. So class logically exists but not physically exists. Whereas object not only logically exists but physically exists also. Just think about the real time example. So animal is a class. In case I am saying that animal, right, there are a lot of animals in the right road is, or maybe any kind of park is there, right, all this stuff. Okay, are you able to understand which animal I am talking about? No, nah. Animal is very generic, so it is not physically exist, only logically exist. But in case I am saying that, okay, tiger, lion, donkey, monkey, goat, all this stuff, then we can easily understand that this is the object from this class. And then dog. Then from the dog also there might be different variety, breed might be there. So you can easily understand. So that is the object will be there, right? Object is nothing instance from the class will be creating. Class is nothing but kind of is a blueprint for creating the object. So TypeScript class is nothing but a blueprint for creating the object. Encapsulating properties. Property is nothing but the data. Data is nothing but the variable, and method, right? Method is nothing but the behavior to promote organization, reusability, and readability. Class support inheritance, allowing one class to extend another and reuse the functionality. It encapsulates data or properties and behavior or methods into a single unit, that is called class. So what are the key component classes might have into the TypeScript world? So classes definitely will be having the properties. Properties is nothing but the variable associated within the class instance. Then it will be having the methods, nothing but the reusable functions defined within the class, which will be performing specific actions, and I can call it n number of times. Then it might be having the constructor. Constructor is again special kind of method, but it will be same name as the class name. And in case you are not defining, still default constructor will be created inside the class. So it is a special method within the class that is automatically invoked when user create an instance of that class. Its primarily purpose is to initialize the properties of the current instance. In TypeScript, constructor allows user to set up the initial state of the object. What are the other things can be there inside the class? We can inherit it. Means one parent, we can access the child properties to the child. So that part I'll cover it as part of the OPS concept in next session only. You'll be understanding what the full four OPS keep concept along with the class, object, and constructor. There are four key pillars of the OPS. OPS is nothing but the object-oriented programming structure. So inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction. So inheritance is one of the key pillar of the OOPS. So inheritance is nothing but the parent-child mechanism. Two class might be there, one might be parent or one might be child. We can create a relationship between the two class with the help of the extend keyword. And in the child class, all parent class properties, right, the data or variables, variable or the methods can reuse by the child class automatically whenever they are having the parent child relationship. Okay, last one important trap is called object. It is nothing but an instance of the class which contains set of key value pairs. Its value may be scalar values or functions or even array of object also. Now let's see the implementation of the TypeScript class. Okay, how it's behave. So we'll try to create a very simple class called say class square, right? Square is a safe. I can create a class called square. Okay, so this is the way syntax, and here you need to give the curly braces, and where you can have the different variable. Okay, let's give the variable square is side, right? Side square will be having side, and let's give it called number. Okay, so because square will be having some sides, and from the sides I can try to have the area of the square. Okay, then create a constructor. Okay, so here you can again pass a variable called side. Same variable also you can give it, and you can have it called number, or you can define new variable also, that is fine, not be a problem. Okay, then what will be constructor will be having, constructor will be having, okay, this dot, okay, this dot this side variable equal to this side whatever you are passing. That is the way this operator is useful actually. This operator will be pointing out to your current object, current variable, current method, like that. And you are now you are passing it to this whatever argument you are passing it. Okay, that is the way you're doing. Now what we can do in the inside the square class, only I can create a method here. I define some variables, I create a constructor, I'll creating a method called calculate, okay, square area. Okay, this is the method, and here this is the method. So return type will be number again, as both are number I am passing. So number can be integer or the decimal value also. Without decimal value also it can be there, because in TypeScript there is only one type of variable, right, for the both the decimal or the non-decimal value. It's called number. Now it will be returning what it will return, this dot side start this dot side, or you can give the power also, multiplied by this. That's all. Now my class created, my variable declared, constructor created, also method created. Now what I'll be doing, I'll be creating a uh, okay variable from this class, okay, or object. Say let's try to create something called constant object, or let any variable called say sq square area. Okay, that is the variable I'm giving. Okay, equal to new. What is the safe name? Okay, what is the class name? We are trying to create the object from this class square. Okay, and where you are creating the constructor, you need to provide the value called 10. Okay, now we can just print it out. So console dot log, and here you can give something called any other stuff also, area of the square. Okay, then just simply give this colon. You can use the laterals also, or the backstick, or the tilde sign. That is fine. Otherwise, you can simply give this variable. Also, this is the way also you can give it, whatever way you prefer. Okay. Now let's try to run the code. Let's see how it's happening here. Okay, you could see. Oh my God, why? Oh my God, sorry. This is the method, right? So I need to just cannot have this variable. I need to call the thing also, na? Actually, method. What is the method name? Calculate area. Thing. Then only it will be coming. Okay, you could see you have given the 10, it is coming as 100. Let's give it 25, so it will be 25 multiplied by 25, kind of 625, like that. So it's coming, right? Similar way I can try to create one class. Okay, let's comment out, say called, what is the way I can create the class, say another class I can try to create called circle. Okay, circle is fine. So again I can give the circle will be having the radius, right? So I can, instead of 1, I can change it to radius. I can create a constructor, then I can change this radius. Okay, that is fine. You can give some new value also here. Instead of radius, I can give it to rad. That will also work. Here you need to change it to rad. Okay, that is fine also. Then here you need to put this dot radius dot radius. Okay, we need to change. Okay, so calculate circle area. Okay, what is the formula? It is pi dot r square, right? So I can directly call the math function. Okay, then dot pi. So this is the stuff I can call it instead of giving the 3.1 for value. Then like that. Okay, then what the value I can call, create called circle. I will be creating the object called circle. Let's see, class name called circle, new circle, and we can give the value called 20 or 10. Let's give it to 10. Then I need to call the method here exactly with this particular, okay, say called circle area, variable name. You can change it. Here also you can change it. Okay, let's see how it is coming now. So 10 into 10 into 3.14, right? It should be 314, right? The value. So that is the way you can create a class. Okay, but now we'll see how we can do the oops implements later point of time, so that we can use generic stuff and we can have n number of stuff. So here we can create the class. In the class we can have the variable, we can have the constructor, we can have the method, and then we can try to create the object for instance from the class. So as constructor is there, we need to provide the value, right, whenever constructor created, and then you can call this right object. So okay, that is the way you can deal with the class. Okay, now let's go with one more example. It's already documented here. Let's understand more about the class. Okay, so I've created a class called student class. Okay, define a class called student class where there are a lot of parameters I am passing variable. Student will be having the name, class name, roll number, and also marks percentage, how many numbers student get. It might be decimals, that is fine because number can deal with the integer value, decimal value. After the creating a constructor to initialize the name, class name, roll number, and the marks percentage, right? So we are defining relevant variables. Then I am again calling same way, this dot name, all this stuff, whatever, because this operator will give you the current variable or the method from the class, and then you are matching it whatever value you are passing through the argument. Now what we are doing, we are creating an object method, okay, called display student information. We are trying to display the name, class name, roll number, and marks also in a single line. Now what we are doing, from this particular class I am trying to create an object called student1 student2, where we are providing the information relevant whatever way is there in the constructor, because this is the fourth thing we need to pass: name, class number, class right, class number, roll number, and marks percentage given. So that is the way I've given. Now what we can do, we can directly print out one by one with the object name dot the variable name. Otherwise you can directly call the method name to print all the information. So this is the way you can deal with the class and object here. You could see, so it is coming as a like one by one for the student one, or for the both the student it's coming as a together because we are calling the functions. So functions will be coming from here. So that is the way one class will be having right, n number of variables, right, and n number of data called variable, n number of constructor. We can overload the constructor if required. Okay, then we can have the method name also accordingly. Okay, so say let's create a one more constructor here. Okay, so here we do not want to pass it. Okay, so if you just copy it, it will be throwing the error because constructor need to be overloaded, cannot be overridden. How overloaded means here we are not giving the say only required name and right, only required the name and number. Say only right. I would require as a name and number I want to provide. Okay, so let's see what's happening. Okay, these two part we can just remove it out. This is the way I can create the constructor. Now let's create an object called student3. Okay, called student3. Okay, let's give this value blanket. Let's see what's happening here. New student, why it is not allowing? Multiple constructor implementation is not allowed. Okay, fine. So yeah, I need to check that one. But constructor can be overloaded also. Okay. So this is the way I can from a class I need to create n number of variables constructor, and then we can have n number of method, and we can create n number of object, and from this object I can try to call the exact variable by variable, or you can call the method so that all the like important variable can be called using the method. Okay, this is the way you can also deal with the particular class. Okay, so class is having couple of important properties. We can have the variables, we can have the constructor, we can have the method, we can create the object, and class also can be inherit. So that part will be covered next session tomorrow, right? Session 5, especially whenever dealing with the ops concept. Now let's understand about the object. So we already discussed about the object, right? The object is nothing is a instance from the class. Apart from that, in TypeScript we can directly define the object also. Okay, so TypeScript object is nothing but the structured collection of key value pairs where key are string or symbol, and the value can be any type like primitive types or array functions or other object also. So primitive we can have the number, string, boolean, big int, right, null, undefined, or symbol also, right? So object allow organized storage and type safe manipulation of data. Object types in TypeScript can be defined using interfaces or type aliases or index signatures. Interface and the type aliases define a specific structure for object, ensuring they follow a particular shape. Whenever next session will be covering interface, you can easily correlate it from how from the interface you can create the object easily. Objects are mutable and dynamic properties, and we can update the object, we can add new thing to the object, we can delete a couple of stuff from the object any point of time. Object allow data grouping and encapsulations, making it easier to manage related information and behavior together. Okay, let's deal with the object. So object can be done in two way primarily. So we'll see what are the two way we can deal with the object. Okay, let's try to define some object. Okay, very simple way. Let's try to define it. Okay, one way with the help of the constructor will define. Okay, let's how we can do the constructor way. Let okay called student is the variable or object equal to new object keyword I can use directly. That is the way I can create an object using the constructor object constructor. Now what I can do, I can call it this object. I can try to add the details called name equal to any name called Raj Sharma. Okay, then what I can do, I can call this one dot age equal to say 30 23. Then what I can have dot salary. Okay, say yearly salary is okay, say 8,50,000, like that. Now what is the way I can do it? I can try to just console.log You can just print it out, the whole object, console.log and student. So this is the way I can try to deal it. Let's run it. Let's see how it is happening. Here you could see name Raj Sharma, age 23, salary is coming as object. This is the way object will coming, right? As a curly braces and key value pair. Okay. So this is the way you can deal it. Now let's try to go with the another approach. This is the way I can use the object constraint one, and I can create an object. Okay. So what is that? We are creating the using creating object using the new object constructor. But other approach will follow. Simply we can just create the object also. Okay, let's give something called constant employee name object name called employee equal to and curly braces and the key value pair, right? Curly braces, sorry, my bad, not these square braces. It will be curly braces. Yeah. Now I can try to give some value called first name. Okay, and I can give the value called say Raj again. Okay, called last name called Sharma. It's a string only. I can directly define. Then I can give something called say age same way. Age 23. Okay, salary, comma. We need to give the comma. My bad. So this is the object. Okay, say salary. Same value I can give it. Okay, and couple of more parameter I can do it called um, currently working. I can give it true or false. Yes, true. Sometimes they cannot be working also, right? That's fine. Okay, that's fine. Now what I can do, I can try to create a method called print name only. I just want to print the name. Okay, so print name, and really I want to create a method called function, and again curly braces. Say I want to just print the name. So console.log. I can use the string literal, right? So let's use that tilde sign. Okay, and I can give something called hello, comma, I am, and this dollar sign. Okay, what is that? This dot, and sorry, in the dollar sign I need to keep this bracket. I can this dot first name. Then what I can do, and again space this dot. Sorry, my bad. Like that. Okay. Sorry, my bad. Last time. Okay, I'm just trying to print it out. Okay. Now let's try to print out console.log fully. What is my object? My object is emp employee. Okay, that is fine. So if you are printing it, let's see what's happening here. Okay. Okay, what is okay. I think some problem happened here. Okay, let's see. Invalid shorthand property initializer, which okay, line number coming. Okay, line number, this one is coming, last name Sharma. Creating. Okay, it should be colon. My bad. Okay, it should be colon whenever you're defining key value pair. Okay, now it should be good only. So that is the way you can try to debug and understand as and when you be working more and more, you can definitely understand the code. You could see now it is coming right as object format. First name, last name, right? All this part. Okay, print name it is not able to do it. Okay, primarily. Okay, I think yeah. Print name you cannot coming that way only function print name because you need to call it only then it will be coming right. So let's comment out this part and let's see how to call this all this part. Print name also should come accordingly. Employee dot okay called first name only. My bad. Dot first name. Okay, employee dot age. Okay, employee dot okay last name employee dot salary. And if you want to just get that right print name you need to just no need to use the console log right simply employee dot method you need to do it call it. Think that will be good. This is the method you need to call it and you need to remove it because method is already having the body na. Here you could see the method is already having the body so I can just call it the with the help of the object name. Now it should come work fine. Let me check. Yeah, you could see first name is Raj, age is 23, Sharma, salary is this, and now I'm coming. Hello, I am Raj Sharma. Okay, let's change. I think pronunciation not correct. Yeah, okay. So it is coming also, right? I am Raj Sharma. Okay. So this is the way I can do it. So I can add the n number of variables or data into the object. Now what we can do, we can try to modify the object also, right? Object or mutables and dynamic property can be added, modified, or deleted at any point of time. Let's see. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. Let's try to do after the addition done. Let's try to do some deletion. So what is my variable name? Emp dot age. Now let's say try to change the age called instead of 23, I'm changing it to 30. That is perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Okay, now what I can do, I wanted to add something called country variable dot country. Okay, and okay, employee dot here equal to sign. We need to use equal to sign. Okay, employee dot country equal to string. It can be India. Okay, I'm adding a again new. I'm updating a existing one, and I want to delete it also. Then how can I delete it? Delete functionality called then variable dot say just I want to delete this currently working part, right? I want to delete it. Okay, that is perfectly fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Now we can try to call it. Let's see what's happening here. Yeah, you could see Raj age got changed to 30 is coming and this is also coming. Now these functions like I can also directly call it here, right? Directly employee. So function will not be called because function inside that one is having other stuff. So you need to call it. Okay, you could see now function is fine. Now you could see country got added here. Okay, first name, last name, their age got updated to 3000, 30, salary fine, function name is fine, and country got added. And this particular field currently working got removed now. Right? This is there initially, but now I've removed it, deleted it. So this is the way for the object. What I can do after object define, I can try to add new object element into the object. I can delete some element from the object or variable. I can define new value to the object. So that is the way I can deal with the object. Okay, so object here, it's nothing but the key value pair combination. We can try to define the object. Now let's go with the one more examples for the object part, how it behave in the TypeScript world. Okay, and you can get the proper clarity how with the help of the object we can do different functions also. Okay, so here what I did, like I've created a class called bank account, right? Mostly we'll be having our bank account to any of the bank, and mostly account will be having some account numbers, account holder name, bank balance, right? So that is the way I have the initial variable called balance. I'm creating a constructor same way for account number variable where passing through all this stuff, and now I'm creating a method called deposit where I want to add some value, right? As and when I'm depositing something, what will having initial balance was there, it will be added to the amount whatever I am adding. So that is the way deposit value will be in case your initial balance was 1 lakh, after that you're depositing 20,000, so after that your balance will be 1,20,000. So that is the way I'm creating a method called get balance. Okay, it is just having the amount added, right? This calling this particular deposit one. Okay, so that's all I'm doing. Okay, let's run it now, see what's happening here. Okay, now see here, I have just given value in, this is my account number, this is my name, this is the initial value, I'm trying to deposit this, and I'm getting the balance here called 51,000. Initially it is 49,500, sorry, 4,95,000, right? I'm adding 15,000, so it is coming as 5,10,000. So initial my value was say 10,000 only, and I'm adding it called 250.75 paise. Think about that. Let's see, check the get balance. So 10,000 plus 250.75 paise, right? So in case you want to have some functions, right, same way you want to do it. Okay, called instead of deposit, you can have called withdrawal. Okay, so it will be minus equal to the amount, right? So what you can do, you can call is instead of deposit, you can withdrawal. Okay, so let's see what is the balance is there. Okay, you could see 9749.25 paise, because initially was 10,000. I'm withdrawing this amount. Let's or make it very generic, 300, and initial value give it to 1,000 only. So you can able to get away, right? So that is the way you can create the object and like variables function. You could see now balance is 700 because I'm withdrawing. After that, if you want to again add something, right? Account dot deposit. Okay, I'm withdrawing 300. After that, again depositing. Okay, say 3,000. So what will be having balance? 3,700. Okay, you could see 3,700. That is the I can create any number of functions inside the right object, and I can call it my way. Sorry, class. Okay, and I can just try to do it. This is a simple example for the class actually, not the object. My bad. Okay. Now we'll go with the object. Any other example is there? I can see show you. I think yeah, this is the fine for the class and object. Okay, so that is the way you can try to deal with the class and object and TypeScript world. Mostly class will be having variable, constructor, and the method, and you can use it. An object is nothing but the key value pair combination. You can add define some object using normal way or using the like okay using particular constructor object constructor, and after thing is added, right, you can get all the value, and you can also redefine some value. You can try to add new variable types, and you can also delete some existing variable type, and then you can just use it in number of way. Okay, so I'll take a pause. Any questions? All good? Okay, fine. So now today, last three topics I'll covered. So we already done learned about the object and class, but we'll try to learn about the generics. Okay, where we are dealing with mostly object, right? The data types. Okay, just kind of in case we are defining number, we are defining number. In case we are defining string, we are holding the string like that. But we will start about learn about the Java generics. So whenever in the same object, right, or same functions or same class, I want to define variety of the data, right? Then how will use it? So I need to use the TypeScript generics. So generics is nothing. Generic in TypeScript like helps user to create flexible and reusable component that adapt to different types. So like in a in case you are using generics, so you can handle all the different types and primitive non-primitive data type together. So instead of hard coding the types, user can define functions, classes and interfaces that might handle multiple data type while maintaining type safety. This makes the code more scalable and prevent unnecessary duplication. So generics also help eliminating redundancy. Instead of writing multiple versions of a function for different types, user can create one generic implementation that handle them all. Now let's try to create with generic some variable level or array level, right? Let's define it. So let's comment out this part. Then we'll understand about the other level, generic class, generic methods. Also, say create something called any variable called let. Okay, called any array I want to reverse it. So I can give something variable called reverse array. Here you need to use the generic type. Okay, you need to use T. Okay, in the Java also, in case you learn about Java generics, same way you go do it. And here you need to give this bracket. Here you can give some variable name called okay values. Say okay, and here it will be colon, and again it will be T type, and this is a array, and then overall will be your again T type of array. That's all. Now what I'll be doing, I'll be using that arrow functions, and what I'll be doing, what is the variable I've defined, values dot reverse method I'll call in the arrow function. That's all. This is the method I have written using arrow function. Simple way. Now what I'll do, I'll be using console.log. Okay, and simply we'll try to just okay call this method called reverse array, and here I'll pass the different variable called number variable, say 10 comma 30 comma 60 comma 80, like that. Okay, like that way I can give it. Okay, let's see any problem. Okay, yeah, it will be array will be here in the square bracket. Yeah, that's fine, let's do it. So this is the all number type. Okay, then what I can do, I can call the same method. I can have some reversing is happening, right? 70, 60, 50 and 10 is happening. So let's give it something called 10.75, okay, 30, because these are number, right? 70.87, like that. Now I can give it some string variable called let's give something called C, okay, called TypeScript, then give something called JavaScript, okay, then give something called C sharp, C has, like that. Let's see how it is reversing. So we are just writing the method using Java generics, and it will be for all the. You could see C has is coming first, then JavaScript, then TypeScript, because it's reversing. Okay. Now same way, like I can try to create one functions. Okay. See, I'm just very creating a very important one like called functions. So, we are defining here called array. I'll be creating a function level here. So let's function called display. Okay, second element only. Whatever value you are giving, I want to display the second element. Okay. So what we'll be doing again, I'll be giving generics t here. Okay, I need to close it, and then here I can pass some new variable called array. Okay, here colon, again t syntax will be fine here. New variable. and here I'll be giving it called another t here. It's not required. Okay, then I will be just returning array variable array, and the second element is nothing but the array index of 1, right? In case first element index will be 0. Okay, array 1, that will be fine. Now let's try to again same way go with this console.log. Okay, what is the method name? This method name. Okay, now just provide the array. Okay, like 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40. That's fine. Let's end it. Okay, return. That's fine. Let's run it. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, you could see 20 is coming. Why? 20 is the second element, right? That means I'm returning second element array index 1. Returning. Okay, now let's go with the same way. Returning, say, third element, fourth element. So array 3. So I can change it to fourth element. Display fourth element. Okay, now you could see it is call it. It will be giving me the fourth element 40. Similarly, I can try to go with the other way called a string. Okay, say just give it. Okay, so see how it's behaving. So it is giving you the fourth element C has. Now, in case you are removing it, right? There is no fourth element available. How it will behave? Okay, there are three elements only available, but your objective is to get the fourth element. So you could say undefined because there is no fourth element available. It's undefined. So this is the way you can do it. In case also pass like true false way, right? You can pass also true false way. So in case it is there, it will be coming. Otherwise, it will be giving the undefined. So say true, false, or generic also. This way also I can give it 30 and again true. It will allow any kind of type. You could see true is coming. In case you are having only three value, you can change it to again called string in the same way like called TypeScript. It will be coming the TypeScript only. And here you are adding more value, that is fine. That is not be a problem. Called again called C++. Okay, let's add couple of more element. That is there is no okay. Then I can give it C sharp. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. So this is the generics, and this is the I can also use in the methods also. Okay. So generic functions we discussed about that way, right? What is the way is defining mostly. So TypeScript generic types are a core part of the language type system. It's offer flexibility, reusability, and type safety in functions, classes, and data structure. Generic allows developer to write code that works with any types while still preserving strong typing. This reduces duplicates, duplication, and increases maintainability, especially in the larger application. So TypeScript generic function uses type parameter to create reusable component that work with a variety of the data types while maintaining type safety. It provides a placeholder for a type that is specified when the function is called, allowing the same logic to be used for different input without losing type information. That is called generic functions. So you already understood the generic function. Now you can understand about the generic classes. One example later I will give. So generic classes in TypeScript use type parameters in angle bracket. Okay, and after the class name to create reusable type safety component that can work with variety of the data type. This approach prevents code duplication and enforces type safety at compile time, unlike using any type. Generic class can store any type while preserving the type information throughout this method. Now let's see a couple of example about the generic functions and generic class. Okay, this part we already discussed. Now let's about generic function. Okay, So see here, we are creating a function called print value. We only one parameter, only value returning value. After that, we can give any true boolean, right? Number, okay, anything it work, right? Or string, or like number with decimal place also there. We are creating another functions with two parameters a and b. What we are doing here, we are pairing it, right? Number and string, one. We are printing the result. Otherwise, we can just print the result. So with two parameter also. So this is the way I can make it generic. So it can hold anything. You could see 100 is coming here properly because we are creating generating function. It can hold numbers, decimal value, with a decimal value, boolean, all data type, any kind of data type, primitive or non-primitive. Here we are having two function method, two parameters, and it's printing with that way, right? As an array format. Okay. So this is the way also you can use generics in the functions. Now let's understand about the class, generic class concept. So okay, what we are doing, we are creating a class called learn programming, and we are providing the generic tree, so we can have anything. Now we are declaring that private variable language. We are creating a constructor the language variable. This dot language, same way we are doing. We are creating a method here with generics also. It can hold any type of data. Now what we are doing, we are creating object with the constructor. Okay, from this constructor we are passing 1 2 3 4 5 is generic, and we are printing it out. And we also, we are for second constructor we are passing some string variable, we are printing it out. And we can provide the boolean, right, whatever way we want to do it. Okay, so say I am giving it something called learn boolean. Okay, called learn. Okay, here what we can do, we can pass it true or false only. Okay, simply I can just call it, output will be just true. And I think I need to change that one. Yeah, let's see. Okay, you could see for the first one working with the number, second one is working with the data types, so which is string, third one is working with the like boolean. So this is the way generics primarily works with the normal variable type, constructor, okay, and functions and the classes level also. Okay, so we'll just recapture whatever you covered so far. After that, any questions, we'll discuss it. So today we have tried to just cover tuples. So array, where we used to do, like we are used to dynamic size. You do not want to define any size, and we can have only similar data type, either boolean, number, all this stuff. But tuples can have like fixed data size, and it can hold multiple data type at the same time. Okay, union is nothing but uh, primary way. It will allows variable, function, parameter, or return type to accept multiple possible types. In union, we can have boolean or string or number or big int all together. Okay, and intersection is primarily nothing but is the type where combining multiple types into single type using the ampersand operator. The resulting type includes all properties and method from all the combined types, meaning an object of this type must satisfy all constituent types. Okay, and then we are having the aliases, nothing but a way to give the custom name to an existing type, allowing complex type definition to be simplified and reused. It can be used with primitive types, object, array, union, intersection, tuples, function types. Then we are having the guards. So type guards is nothing but the technique, important key techniques used to check and refine types at runtime, ensuring safe operation based on the variable's actual type. It ensures operation are only performed on appropriate types and adds an extra layer of type checking during the runtime. Because types keep mostly have check on the compile time, but using the guard functionality, right, you can try to check on the runtime as well. Class and object, class is nothing but the like blueprint, right, for creating the object. So multiple similar kind of object will be like forming a class. Class is only logical entity but not the physical entity, whereas object is nothing but instance from the class. Is like a logical and physical entity. So like say think about the like fruit is the class, but you will not understand the fruit, what is fruit all about. But in case I am talking about the apple, banana, grapes. You can easily understand this is the food, right? So class can have a method, constructor, object, property, and then also one class to another class. I can inherit also. There are a lot of inheritance for possible single level, multi level, hierarchical. We'll discuss in the next session. So object, a TypeScript object is nothing but the structure collections of key value pair combinations where keys are string or symbols and the values can be any type such as primitive type, functions or any other types. Object allow organized storage and type safe manipulation of data. Object are mutable and dynamic property and can be added, modified or deleted at any point of time. Object allows data grouping and encapsulation, making it easier to manage related information and behavior together. Then last three topics for today, so we discuss about the TypeScript generics. So generic in TypeScript let user to create flexible and reusable component that adapt to different types. Instead of hard coding types, user can define classes, function, interfaces that handle multiple data type while maintaining type safety. So it can be at class level or function level. So you no need to whenever you are defining a generic, so you can have hold any kind of data type, starting with primitive and non-primitive. So that's all from today's session, guys. Thank you.